What's up, and welcome to Nighttime at the Nerd Bar. We're going and going. We're almost to like 60. I was like, wait. Are on 57. 57.
Oh my God.
We're almost to
What?
60. Woo! We're almost senior
How?
citizens. I know, right? And we have a special guest. Woo! So we have Krystal Shanellee in the house. Welcome.
Crowd goes crazy. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Hello, hi.
Yeah.
Exactly just like that.
So we got some anime news for y'all. We're going to be covering Trigon with our special guest, as well as My Hero Academia. I have some other recommendations for you at the back of the show. So stay around for all that. If you're live, join us in the live chat. And if you're watching later, no worries, comment down below. So we got some people already. We got Giga Derek saying hello. Yes.
Hello.
We got Rab saying hi.
Hi.
And we got John. Hi, ladies. Hello, everybody. Yes, thank you.
Hello,
and welcome.
humans.
And let's do quick introductions down the line. I'm Carrie Lane. And Krystal,
You're in the middle. You get to go next.
Okay. My name is Krystal, otherwise known as Krystal Shanellee. Nice to meet you all. Hello.
Yes.
And I'm Katie Cullen.
And as you can
the heel of this sandwich.
I was just so excited because I wanted to say hello, everybody. We all got our Trigon shirts. Woo!
Yeah. I should have came on with the glasses too. I should have been decked out.
We have official, and fan merch.
Yay! Yes.
It's hard to find official shirts, y'all.
It's hard. Trigon is hard.
It's hard.
Well, you should
Krystal?
go to Krystal's page because she has some really cool Trigon pictures from a recent convention.
Oh
But, yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah.
I had went to real quick. I went to Anime Impulse. So excited. The only reason why I was at Anime Impulse because Johnny Youngbosch was going to be there, and I said I need to tell you how much I love you. So I went there with literally all of my manga, all of my DVDs, and I went up to his thing and I was like, how much is this all gonna cost? She told me, I was like, I'll just get one. It's okay. Please, just sign this one. So he signed my DVD. And then I was wearing my cosplay and I got to take a picture of my cosplay. I was like, and this is it. My year has been made. It was great. Had a great time.
Made your year and it's only like week 3.
That's what
you
I'm
are
saying.
Doing great.
Starting off real strong.
So before
Katie,
we roll into it,
oh, yeah.
tell us a little bit about you.
No problem. So I am an LA content creator. I just graduated from film school like 3 months ago. So something that, thank you. It was so stressful. I almost didn't make it. But something that really inspires my work is anime. And so I really want to get into directing and creating my own kind of, video, film, things that are inspired by anime. So I created this show called What in the World, where it's kind of like a bi-monthly series that kind of puts me in the world of an anime. So I'm like, if I was in the Attack on Titan world, what would I do? Realistically, what would I do? I would not be like Eren. I would not be like Levi. I would probably be hiding somewhere. So I like to kind of visualize and create those moments. We're on episode 2 right now. The first one was Yu Yu Hakusho. This one is from, oh my gosh,
Higurashi?
Yes, it's from that one. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Higurashi, some crazy.
Which Higurashi?
The first.
There's
one?
Oh my god. Oh my god. There's a lot in Higurashi canon. It's wild. It's a wild one.
First 2 episodes. I was like, what is this? Yeah. So that's what I like to do. And then on the side, I like posting about DC. I'm really in my Pokemon, you see all my little Pokemon right there. I have little obsessions that take over my life. So yeah. And now it's Trigon because it's back. So I'm very excited to talk about it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. And also a big important one. What are your top 5 favorite anime?
Oh, 5. Okay, thank you. I was going to say 3. I was like, oh, okay.
Give a little wiggle room in there. Yeah.
You're also watching One Piece, and that's always in everyone's top 5.
It is. And actually, I've been battling between One Piece and Naruto, because Naruto was kind of grandfathered in, because I watched it when I was younger. But then One Piece came and was like, you thought that was your favorite? Psych, I'm about to be your favorite. So they're always neck and neck. But I have to be honest, I'm pretty sure One Piece is my favorite. And then we have Naruto. And then I would probably say Trigun, Vinland Saga, and Yu Yu Hakusho. I'm going to say Yu Yu Hakusho because I really enjoyed it. Yeah, it was really
nice.
Really fun show. Yeah.
So you got to be psyched for season 2 of Vinland Saga then.
I watched the new episode today. I love it just so much. I'm so happy they're kind of like back to back too. So I have Trigun on Saturday, The Last of Us on Sunday, and Vinland Saga
jeez.
on Monday. I love it. It's a great weekend.
So you can just emotionally traumatize yourself every day.
Exactly.
It'll be great.
Recover
Nice.
during the week and do it all over again.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, this is a good serotonin boost for you at the start of your week. Well, let's get into some news real quick. So that would be under our things we're excited about. So one of them that's pretty exciting because we always love anime in theaters, and we've been covering this film for a little bit, and we are excited to announce that Suzume will be at the 73rd Berlin International Film Festival, which is next month. And the thing about that's really exciting is it is awards eligible, so that's cool that it's competing. And the fact is, it is the only second anime that's been in competition in the last 2 decades. So the last anime that competed there was in 2002. So go them.
Oh my gosh.
Wish them luck.
What was
That's
it?
awesome.
Do we know? Did it say?
It didn't. It probably does deeper in the press release, but
2002 makes me think like Spirited Away was the one that was
Same.
competing because that's
Same. That's what I was thinking. They were on just an award show run as soon as it came out.
And I think Spirited Away took the Oscar for Best Animated that year because the Disney Pixar submission was Cars. So
I think it'll take me longer to find it, but
that'd be
my guess.
We can circle back to it. That's also my guess because I think that was the one that year.
But
good for that.
But yes, and so that'll be also the first time for a lot of people to get a chance to see that film. So that is very exciting. So that's like yes. But
and if Spirited Away was the first one to be nominated, then would be the first one nominated by Makoto Shinkai. So that's a big deal.
Yeah, I'm just gonna bump the news over to you next. I was like, wait, now I'm gonna go.
Well, you search for. Now I need to know what the first one was.
Yes, now I really want to know.
I wasn't expecting the pop quiz.
Yes.
Speaking of awards eligible, it comes around every year. The Crunchyroll Anime Awards have announced their nominees, and voting is now open. Voting began about 4 days ago. The Crunchyroll Anime Awards, they announced the nominees. Global voting is open. The festivities will be live from Tokyo on March 4th. Ooh. And I think this is the first time they're doing it from Tokyo. Usually it's like LA or Seattle.
Yeah, I was about to be like, I want to go. And I'm like,
I know, right?
Bigger commitment.
Yeah. It's like, I would love to go to the Anime Awards. It's in Tokyo. Little more difficult than going down the 101. But
a little bit.
Yes.
And then, yes, it is Spirited Away. Good guess. So,
if someone's like 2002 anime, and I'm like, oh, okay, yep. It's looking like, for example, they gave us the graphic for Anime of the Year nominations in here, and it's Spy Family, Cyberpunk, Attack on Titan, Ranking of Kings, which I wasn't expecting to see that nomination, but really? I am excited for that. Yeah. Demon Slayer and Lycoris Recoil is what we're looking at for Anime of the Year. There are, they gave us all of them. Multiple different categories. Lots of different categories.
And you can vote every day.
Take a look.
We got John Knight in the chat said I already voted. So when you go, you're going to put in your name that you're over 16. You have to be over 16 to vote, and you got to put in your email. So don't be spamming them. I know some of you are very excited about your shows, but let's be honest and fair voting. I already did my voting today. I checked it out. I was like, ooh, let's see what they are. And yes, there's some that are so hard to pick between two. And I'm like,
oh my God, yes.
This is like the same category.
Anime of the Year, and then you're looking at Best Action, Best Animation. You get into song, character design, continuing series, director, drama. What I love is coming down to the best performances and then seeing, okay, English, okay, Japanese, Arabic, Castilian, French, German. So it's not just like the big two that you think of when you think of anime dubbing. It's all of the different languages. And as someone who works in post-production and dubbing, that is great for me. And then
Robinson is nominated, so shout out to him too.
He got my first vote. He immediately got my first vote.
As you do.
And then just in case I pronounced it not that clearly, 16 years old to vote.
You have to be over 60. Only a true
would
anime
narrow it.
old can vote.
They're the legacy anime fans.
And I do have to say, in conjunction with this, as I pull up the email because it's in a different email, High Dive received 14 different nominations in the Anime Awards this year, and I am looking for that email so I can pull it up and read them off. There it is. High Dive receives 14 nominations for Trio Series at 2023 Crunchyroll Anime Awards. So it's looking like tons of nominations for Made in Abyss,
Yes.
which, of course,
Yes.
a few for Call of the Night, and mostly music-based ones, but also Best New Series and Best Comedy for Ya Boy Kongming. And if you've been watching this show for a while, you know your girl loves Ya Boy Kongming. It is unbelievably good.
Yeah.
So High Dive is, of course, very proud of those nominations, and they have every right to be because they are absolutely striking anime and deserve to be recognized. So congrats, High Dive, on your nominations on all of these fantastic anime. Remember to head over to the Crunchyroll Awards and to vote and to tune in on March 4th if the time zone agrees with you. It could get a little weird with time zones, but if you are able to tune in live on March 4th for the Anime Awards, do so. It'll be fun.
I don't know what I'm gonna do next year when Chainsaw Man, Trigun, and Vinland Saga are all. I don't know. I don't know.
Cry.
I don't know.
Basically,
And
just
Attack on
cry.
Titan. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be rough.
This is why Attack on Titan's final season is divided into like 5 parts, so it
They
keeps
can
being eligible for awards.
You're right.
They're gunning
Oh
for
my
it. They're
God.
gunning for it.
Oh, that's so funny, but you're so right.
I'm absolutely certain that's not why, but I could not. I couldn't let the joke go.
It's funnier that way.
So speaking of legacy anime, exciting news. Cowboy Bebop is having a 25th anniversary box set coming out on April 4th for sale. So you can go check that out. Crunchyroll has that for sale. And let me see if there's any other special details. Yes, there is, all kinds of, it's so pretty. We'll post some pictures of that on our Twitter. So you'll check that out. But home video release, the limited edition Blu-ray box set, and just in time for the 25th anniversary. So that's really cool. Came out on April 3rd, 1998. And each set will exclusively include a special metallic collector's box, several art cards, and never before seen 25th anniversary retrospective video that will be new to the special features.
Amazing.
So
I'm looking at the box right now.
It's just
it's
so pretty.
25 is crazy. Wow.
It's so pretty. And I mean, it's Cowboy Bebop. This is one of those seminal anime. So do the thing, y'all. Especially if you are a fan of Cowboy Bebop. Absolutely do the thing. This is beautiful.
And
so throw that pre-order in.
We got Marvin in the chat says, my wallet is in danger.
As it should be.
Right?
Yeah.
Hey, at least it's good stuff,
Yeah, I mean, between the Cowboy Bebop box set and the flight to Tokyo for the Anime Awards.
Hey, dreams can happen, right? We're gonna make it reality.
I mean, Black Milk dropped a new collection today that's ancient Egypt themed, so all of our wallets are in danger. Yeah, no, I did that. That was my afternoon. Anyway,
another legacy.
Another legacy property, and one that we are super excited about. The English dub cast for Trigun Stampede has been revealed. It's not the full dub cast. We do have a full list for the Japanese cast as well, and there's a few characters we haven't seen yet, a few very recognizable people who have not yet shown up on screen. But of course, we know that Johnny Young Bosch will be reprising his role as Vash. Sarah Roach will be joining as Meryl Streif. Ben Bryant is, and this is still killing me that this is his character's name, Roberto De Niro. I love it. I
forgot that that's what they did. I
know, right?
I forgot.
Every time it's just like his last name is De Niro. I love this. This is nuts. Austin Tyndall as Knives. So that'll be fun. Kristen McGuire as Young Vash, Megan Shipman as Young Knives, and Emily Fajardo as Rem Savram. So what's interesting is that the list for the, and of course, I just say Jeremy Inman is going to be the ADR director, which not an easy thing to do. So good on you, my dude. There will be more additional cast and crew announced as we go on. The Japanese voice cast includes listing for a few other characters like Nicholas D. Wolfwood, Legato Blue Summers, Zazie the Beast, and the one I don't recognize, William Conrad. It feels a little arson, murder, and jaywalking, you know?
William
You go from Zazie the Beast to William Conrad. No shade on any of the actors voicing those parts. None whatsoever. Y'all gonna kill it. Just one of those, like, it's really interesting in this canon that we have Vash the Stampede and Million Knives and Legato Blue Summers and Zazie the Beast and Robert De Niro and William Conrad. That's just like, I love it. I love the dissonance there.
It's such an interesting name. Like, what was the thought process when he was like, I'm about to make the hardest name out there. Knives, million knives. Like, okay.
I mean, we got to see it in this episode.
Well, speaking of that, let's get into it.
Hey, real quick before we get into it. Just gonna lay this out for people who are watching this the first time, and also Krystal, because hi. We are going to initially be talking about only Trigun Stampede, this episode that we've watched. We will not be talking about any comparisons to Trigun 1995 for this first bit. So for those of you who want to stay spoiler-free for the OG anime because you would like to watch it, this first bit is safe. We do have a Trigun 1995 banner that we will be switching to. So that way you can, if you want to stay spoiler-free, but you want to hang around for My Hero Academia and the recommendations part at the end, you can mute. We will swap the banners at the bottom. We will swap the lower thirds when the conversation changes so you can stay spoiler-free. But for now, it's this episode only. We don't really do a lot of manga spoilers because I don't remember most of what I read in the manga.
I don't remember. And I just read it like last year. I don't remember.
Right, well, my excuse is that it was like 20 years ago, so I feel less.
Well, Krystal, being our guest, what did you think of this episode? So we're on episode 3 of this reboot.
I wanted him to take the hood off so bad. I wanted to see him in his full glory. I was like, I want to see Nye. Like, I wanted, and I thought it was cool. You know, I thought
you got that though.
You know, I got a little. I was like, I'm gonna kill everybody kind of thing, but you know, I'll take what I can get. I'll take it.
You want the Team Rocket change. You want just the whole thing off.
I want it's me, Knives. No, but when I was first, so I kind of binged it. I was like, I had watched the first episode, and then on the car ride back home, I was in the backseat. I was watching it. I was like, I need to know everything that's happening. So it was very fast paced. I was surprised that they had shown like everything. This is who the bad guy is. This and this and that. And I was like, okay, awesome. The part with the blades around him cutting and he just destroyed. I was like, you're a bad guy. You can't just come back from this. Oh my gosh, it was so crazy. It was really cool seeing all of the destruction that he just does. And I really okay, I don't know if I can wait. No, never
if
mind.
It's referencing the older Trigun, put a pin. Yep, we put a pin in it for now.
I'm gonna hold it back, but I
have a whole pin board back here that's just.
Put my pin back there. I'll bring it up later. But it was really cool seeing Knives in action and seeing Vash and them have their interaction. And the town people, I was like, first you love him, then you hate him, and then you love him again, and then you hate him again. I just like, ooh, poor Vash. He's going through so much. He just can't have a equal footing with some people. But it was a cool episode. I'm gonna watch it again. I love Dragons. I'm gonna watch it again. What did you guys think? What was your thoughts?
I was like, ooh, it got dark. We just set the tone and we sped things up, and we had talked last week of like, how are they going to progress on this? And the original show took a while till it got really dark and serious. And I'm like, oh shit.
So fast.
And then that guy is definitely gone. Boom, kaboom. Nope.
So going into this episode, my roommate and I, as one of our other ventures, we have a Discord that a team for a different project is running, and they have a horror channel. And she gets notifications for it because, of course, she does. And they started talking about this episode of Trigun in there. And this was on Saturday, and we didn't get a chance to watch until Sunday night. So she's like, I need to mute this. But they're talking
Yeah.
about the new Trigun episode in the horror channel. And I'm like, okay, then this will be fun.
What are they
So
doing?
then when
in
Knives
Trigun?
turns a guy into a blood sprinkler, it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, when
just
he was
like-
grabbing the girls too. Yeah.
Oh, God. That's
Yeah,
just
like-
like, oh, this is a disarming. But,
But
ugh.
yeah, it was definitely
all of
crazy.
them, all of those ridiculous, awful puns. But it was very much like that bit at the end of Quarantine where it's grab them and drag them into the darkness. It's that
Mhm.
shot. I'm like, I was
Mhm.
not expecting to see that in
In Trigun.
Trigun.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Is it
Katy
this
Perry
all in the
just-
span of 2 days? Yeah, so far.
Yeah,
I feel
pretty
like
much.
it's even kind of in one day almost.
Less than
like
that.
24
I don't-
hours.
I'm like, have they gone to sleep? Yeah.
No.
They can't sleep. They're too scared. Knives is
No.
running around. They can't sleep.
She
Ooh,
is
yeah, that
this
just took it up
town
a
and the
level.
terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day.
Horrible,
I
horrible.
tell you.
And I'm still very interested in, because I don't know if maybe this is referenced back in the old one, but knowing the difference between the two plans, like if the red one is bad and Knives still wants it and Vash could, like, I'm still interested now because I feel like
Yeah.
the old one, they didn't really give you a lot of explanation about plants kind of thing. So I'm wondering if they're going to expand more or maybe make up their own, this is what the plants kind of do. I mean, besides what
it's-
they do kind of thing.
And it's possible that there's lore they're pulling from the manga that we
Mhm.
just don't
Don't-
know.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember most of what I read in the manga. Just that it was like, oh, this is a lot wilder than the okay. And then you get used to the, oh, this is just how Naito Sensei does things. Yeah, but getting to see why he was called Nai, now it's millions knives. It's like, oh, that's why. There's a reason for it. Yeah.
And then you're just going like, so how does Vash fight that? Like,
Because we're just sitting here like, why is he wearing a jellyfish kigurumi? What is he doing? Like,
oh my gosh.
oh, it's not a jellyfish kigu, it's knives. It's just knives. It's all blades. What the hell is
When
this?
he was playing the piano and it was just like going on, I was like, this is so funny. Looking like this
Having
is so
that moment
funny.
of, oh, the music is diegetic.
Ah,
Oh. Spending the first third of the episode on this E.G. the bomber. Now it's E.G. the mine. I'm like, okay, I love the design of your mech, but
Mhm.
also you're off-brand Junkrat. So
Mhm.
let's continue spending the first third on Junkrat and then just like, oh, he's done now. Now everything's just going straight to hell. It's like, what is going on in this episode exactly?
when he
What
first
just
got,
happened?
when he first got introduced, I was like, is Knives like controlling? Like, is Knives involved with him, or is this just some random guy who just showed up and is like, now I'm gonna be a problem? And I was just like, where is this going? This is so much. There's 2 bad guys in one oh my god, this is a lot going on.
3, because there was one before this. So
Oh,
this has been a
this
bad
one.
day. Yeah.
Oh
been
my
a
god,
bad-
yes.
Yeah.
And before that, it was the military goons who were willing to blow
Oh
up
my
the town.
god, yeah.
Yep.
This really is the terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day.
What did Charles said? If whatever follows Vash, bad things follow. You were right, Charles. Yep,
Mhm.
literally
mhm.
Trigun.
That's why he's called the humanoid typhoon. I do appreciate, though, and I know we've talked about this a little on previous episodes, how there's a lot more focus on, for one, how hard it is to live on this planet and how important plants are to facilitating human life. And for another, just how expensive everything is. The fact that the bounty is $6 million, but also like that's about what it takes to buy a single plant. So it's a plant's worth of bounty.
And it's just the dark, like heavy tone shift too. I love it. I love it in the sense of like, oh shit. At the end, when like, you know, everybody's kind of surveying the damage and pretty sure quite a few people are dead. And they're just like, no, just leave. And he's like, I'm sorry. Bye. And I'm like, oh.
Just that bit of why are you smiling? I don't deserve to cry. Like, all right, okay.
I mean,
Give this man a hug.
Yeah.
Someone give this man a hug. He is captain of the SS. Not okay.
Mhm,
Wow.
mhm.
I would say who hurt you, but we just saw.
We saw exactly who hurt you. You don't deserve this. I'm so sorry.
Love that it is an actual, honest to God, evil twin plot, though.
Yeah.
How often do you really get those played straight?
And then it just like the severity of what knives can do is like,
Mhm.
so what can Vash? What do you do against that? And it's like the impossible odds setup. And yeah, as Chris was saying, yeah, he's a villain. You're like, oh no, you are bad. Like this is okay.
I loved how they showed because in the prior one, but I loved how immediately
Again, we put the pin in that because I've also got a couple things to say about the prior one and Knives.
I like how they showed kind of immediately that Knives was the reason why the ship
Yep.
kind of thing. So I was like, so just so everyone knows, he's crazy. Just so everyone knows. Yeah, it was really cool. I like that they did that.
Well, we said it a bit. Do we want to move to comparisons, man?
Not quite yet.
Okay.
Because I want to talk about whatever the heck that mech that showed up at the end was. The mech and the dude and the little girl. What the hell?
I'm like, there's another thing?
I don't
It's like, this is a gung-ho gun I'm not familiar with.
Yeah.
Who the hecky?
The little girl looks like a similar child to what Knives and Vash were.
Yes,
that I'm like, all right, so they've triplets.
Blondes are only allowed one haircut.
Yes. They all got that weird diagonal A-line.
Yeah.
Because on the one hand, like, styling the character like that is shorthand for just visual shorthand for the audience. Like, they are related. There's something going on here. But it's also entirely possible that the in-universe explanation is just like, well, that was the haircut I had growing up. I don't see what's wrong with it.
Like,
cool. Who knows, man?
Cool.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I guess the other thing, though, I did too want to add was the like explosives on their bodies. I'm like, that really is in that level of like a body horror too, of like something on you can't get off and it's going to kill you. I'm like, that is terrifying.
Yeah. I really did appreciate Robert's just like, tell us how to disarm the bombs or you're going down with us.
That was and it was Myrtle's idea too of like, hold him.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Suicide. I was like, that's a great idea. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like this is all extremely messed up, but also for this one, we had that bit of you still can't control your portal messing with Vash's gun and him just being disconnected from reality for a little bit. So it's like, okay. Again, there's some of this is pin for the other one, but some of it's very much like, what the fresh hell is this?
What is going on? Yeah, when he did that, I was like, has his gun always did that kind of? So this is why I'm kind of like, it has it. So that's why I'm like, I'll wait.
I was gonna say, wait. Okay,
because Trigun is my favorite anime. Like that is my number one, and I got a bunch of number twos tied. Right. So there's a little bit of like, hang on. I do remember this detail. What?
Yeah.
I feel now we can't not compare. So it's
the angel arms,
the 95 version.
The big
go away.
Yeah, the angel arms. You can't not sit here and go, is this still the angel arm, or have we gone in and I've completely just different. Good job, me. Direction.
Exactly.
Okay, for those who have watched it, but it's been a while, refresh. What is that?
Remember how the moon blew up? Remember how there's a hole in the moon in Trigun? Yeah. Vash did that because one of his arms is able to essentially transform into a crazy-ass giant gun, and he was barely able to control it enough to point it upwards. But that's the city destroyer. And halfway through that, like when things start getting really bad, halfway through that anime is when we get the town of July is destroyed. He blew a hole in the moon. And that's when the insurance agency pulls Millie and Meryl off the case. Like, nope, it's too dangerous. Get back here. So that is the big turning point for the anime. And it's a lot of, he hates that he has this in himself and he cannot control it.
His
and part of the confrontation with... Yeah, and just part of the confrontation with Knives is learning to control the angel arms. So I don't know if we're working with angel arms here because that gun looks different. And the fact that he specifically said you can't control your portal, like, where did this come from?
What is a portal?
What are we doing?
What portal?
What portal? What is this? The robot guy and E.G. the Mine were gung-ho guns from the original, just not until 16 or 17. Yeah, that bit in the middle there is the bit where I was like, what? So
why are you here now?
I'm due for a rewatch. I am due for a rewatch, evidently.
Actually, that's the kind of great thing, though, about this show is for I hope other people do it too. I'm like, this is really good. And now I really want to go back and watch the other one too. So it's not a canceling each other out or anything like that. It's a they go so well together, and then like cross compare. So
But I also want to go and read the manga now, and I know that's going to be a few I talk about this a little bit, but for those of you who are not familiar with any Yasuhiro Naito properties outside of, say, the original Trigun anime, the original Trigun anime is pretty light compared to how some of his stuff goes. Oh my god!
What other properties does he have?
Gungrave.
Gungrave
is the one that Gungrave is the one that I'm most familiar with, and let's finish this up, and then we'll go into a tangent corner, and I will explain Gungrave.
Got it. Taking my pin off of the point I wanted to say, that one part
do it.
I remembered when Knives in the recent Trigun Stampede, when Vash had his gun, he was like, "Are you gonna shoot me, Bubba?" And I was like, "That's what he said in the 1995 one." And I was like, that was such a cute little callback. Oh my god, he's like, "Are you gonna shoot me, Vash?" This and that. And I just wanted to say that I thought that was really cool. I really like that part.
Sitting here on my sofa, like, do it. That problem would be gone forever.
But no, he can't. It's his brother. Morals. I guess this is kind of like Batman Joker kind of thing. Whatever.
Derek asks, "Is our Stampede mech gray the 9 lives?"
I have no idea.
Good question.
I can look that up, but I don't
it's one of those like, yes, it's my favorite anime, but there's like a stretch of 3 or 4 episodes in the middle where my brain goes, well, they occurred. I don't remember them, but they occurred. And I'm like, for a 23 episode anime, I feel like 3 or 4 in the middle is not a bad whole.
You can also love something and not necessarily quote it or know exactly everything that happened in it. So
that's fair.
I'm with you on that.
That's fair. Yeah, no, it's just, my God, all of this. And we are moving so quickly. We're already name dropping July. We've got the orphanage prominently displayed on the map. So that's going to be an entire thing when we get Wolfwood. And I had something else I was going to say, and my entire brain just cash dumped it. So that's fun. But yeah, the manga gets really...
Charles says yes, that's who it is.
All right.
Okay.
But like the manga gets dark and goes places, and it looks like we are getting dark and going places here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be really interested to see what happens from here on out, because I think there's... Yeah.
Krystal, do you have theories on how long this season will be?
We don't know.
I don't know. Honestly, it kind of feels like, just because it's going so fast, maybe 12 episodes, but I don't want to think that. I want to think it would be at least 24. But I just feel like I'm just like, what else can they do? But I have to keep reminding myself that this is a remake and they're doing something totally different, and they're not just like Hunter x Hunter, like just remaking what they have. You know what I mean? They're kind of like kind of thing. So when I watch it, I'm just like, what's about to happen kind of thing. So I don't know. Hopefully it's more than 12 episodes. I hope they don't try and wrap this all up in a cute little 12 episode. I hope they extend it out. But the original Trigun, wasn't that 23? 23,
I believe.
I hope it follows suit, but with how fast everything's going, I don't know. I'm skating that away.
Like with how breakneck it's gonna be 12. Yeah.
No.
Just with how breakneck
I know.
With how breakneck it's been, and just the fact that they gave us knives right away, and they're already going steak. Like, no, I can't see them sustaining this for 20 some odd episodes. And we had someone in chat, and sound off if it was you, a few weeks ago point out that Studio Orange usually does 12 to 13 episode blocks when they do. So we have no confirmation on anything in terms of, is this the only season? What are we doing? How long will it be? And we're, oh God, Legato.
He's about to be a problem.
I pulled up the introduction for Legato scene to show my roommate a little while ago because she did not remember it. And that was 4 minutes of just like, nothing is okay. Nothing is okay.
Yeah, I don't know. He's going to be, watch he comes like next episode. And then if he comes next episode or something like soon, then I'll know it's 12. If Wolf
I think we're getting Wolfwood next episode.
I think so too.
I
I think he was in the
think so.
preview because I've been seeing a lot of
Yeah.
clips of him, and I'm
Yeah.
like, where,
I've seen a
like,
picture
where-
of him now. Yeah.
I'm
Well,
like, where are you guys getting this?
Him and his terrible slides. Like, those aren't going to stay on in the desert. You are wearing loafers without socks. Oh my God.
He
Why?
looks good while he wears them, so I'm just like, hey, do what you gotta do. I'm very excited
In
to
the
see what kind of
desert?
animation they'll give him too.
That's
Because
true.
the animation has been beautiful, beautiful.
And like
beautiful.
Wolfwood is a rollicking disaster, but he's a different flavor of rollicking disaster than Vash. So
Very much
like,
so.
yeah. No, I'm here for this. I'm here for this. And I think one of the things I do remember is that like we know in the OG anime he dies. If
Yes.
I'm remembering the manga correctly, he doesn't. So I could be misremembering that entirely, but I'm sitting here
I have
going,
no idea. I know
well.
he dies in the old one, so fingers
Mhm.
crossed they keep him alive.
Mhm.
Because it'd be interesting if they're gonna try and build the relationship that Vash and Wolfwood had, so it would be impactful if he does die. So who knows?
But everything's so different in this show, and part of Wolfwood's relationship was with Millie. There was a really big,
There
I
was
know,
an actual
right?
relationship.
There was an actual relationship, and we just whole ass don't have her here. She's not appearing in this show, so that changes a lot.
Yeah.
Like
definitely.
instead, you have two curmudgeonly smokers who are angry at the world. Okay. I
That'll
am
be
enjoying
interesting.
Robert quite a bit, but also like, good goddamn, I miss Millie.
I was like, maybe they'll introduce her later, or maybe like they'll like she'll be like a little Easter egg or something. I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't think so. I think she's too
Just
comedic
not.
for the tone that this show is
Yeah,
setting.
they've gone
okay.
dark. That I don't think so as much either.
I think that she was meant to counterbalance a lot of things
Yeah.
and work with the tone of the previous anime, and the way her character was there does not work here.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Just so I miss her, but I get it
But
at
yeah,
this point.
I understand why.
Krystal, any other thoughts on this episode or the show thus far?
I love Trigun. Everybody watch it.
That's true. I would hope that they are at this point if they're this deep in spoilers with us.
We kind of talked a little crazy. I think I also when I watched the first episode, I was definitely comparing a lot because I think I had a preconceived what I think it's going to be like, and so when I was kind of watching it, I was like, this isn't exactly what I thought, but then I had to remember it kind of had to be more updated for the times and stuff like, and they want younger people to watch it, so some of like I get it. But I was just like kind of thing, but I'm enjoying it. I had already gotten. I like the design. I like it now. I'm cool with it. It's easier to wear a wig or a cosplay with his hair like that than it is to wear like the spiky one.
Straight up, yeah.
Yeah, it's so much easier. So I've been enjoying it. And the animation is so clean. It's
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I miss the comedy. I really do miss the comedy.
That's what made me love the original Trigun so much. Like the first episode when he's like running around like a spider and all this stuff. That's what made me fall in love with him. So now watching, I'm just like, he doesn't have the same like community. Like,
we had sprinkles of it in episode 2, but 3 had no time for that. So I was like, can we get more where he's just adorable and funny too?
We're we're already at the point where he's going, I don't deserve to cry. And I'm like, that's usually like episode 10 or 13 territory. Hey, quick question. What the fuck? I'm going to knock my screen over if I'm not careful. Anyway.
So I get it because of the tone.
Okay.
I'm just my baby. I just want to see him smile.
Well, that I feel we could talk about it for a long time, but
before you go, before we switch over to My Hero Academia, do you want to stick around for the Gungrave Tangent Corner?
I will be here. Yes. I got
Pull up Tangent Corner, please. I'm about to go a little insane.
All right. Like 30 seconds. Go.
I need more than 30 seconds for Gungrave. Yasuhiro Naito does what Yasuhiro Naito wants, and occasionally that is really playing around with the bounds of character design and reality and what exactly fits into a human shape. Oh, God. Gungrave is a story that starts out in the present in the first 2 episodes, spends the next 10 or so, telling a very detailed flashback story about these two orphan kids and the girl they both love growing up and joining the mafia and taking over the mafia, and then the horrifying betrayal in which one kills the other, and then smash cuts back to the present where the one who died has been necromancied back to life about
What?
except that I guess he was bodybuilding in the afterlife because now he's fucking huge. And it becomes this ridiculous, we did a bunch of genetic experimentation on all these characters that you got to know in the flashback, and now everything's crazy. Huge shootout. And then the big emotional moment at the end with the, well, these two used to be friends and then they betrayed each other. And like, it's a very good story, but also,
crazy.
What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
Well, you did in about a minute, so
I'm not done. You had this beautiful mafioso drama smack in the middle, and then the bread on either sides is this crazy town genetic shenanigan shootout, complete with necromancy, because they definitely brought this dude back from the dead 10 years after he died. So, like, and then there's video games involved. Then there's video games where we continue the story, and they give us my favorite character, who is the ghost of a rock musician who haunts an electric guitar, and his name is Rocket Billy Red Cadillac.
That's actually kind of a cool name.
The first time I dropped that, someone went, "Are you sure that's not a JoJo's name?" Like, yes, I'm sure. But that's also a great multiple choice trivia question. Which of these is not a JoJo?
Sounds like a stand.
We got Rab in chat says, this sounds like you guys need to see Gun X Sword. I just looked at the picture. I'm not as familiar with that one. I might have seen.
Don't know what Gun X Sword is. But also I experienced most of this in a sleepover, and afterwards things happen. So, like, this was a crazy high school experience that I was not prepared for. Yeah, Gungrave is good, but you gotta go in knowing that shit gets really weird really quickly. So when people look at Trigun and go, oh, it's a little weird sometimes, the character designs, but it's very fun, and then look at Stampede and go, what happened? I kind of point at Gungrave and go, you guys, this is what Naito Sensei does. He really likes messing around with the really weird shit. So be prepared, I guess.
I can see. I see. Yes.
Did you look up Gungrave?
I'm looking it up right now. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Look at those character designs and tell me that isn't. No, I'm not describing Brooke from One Piece. Yeah. I'm describing Brandon. That poor bastard.
That's funny.
It's weird and messed up and has a very good story, and yeah. With the world's worst explanation of Gungrave right there. Keep that in mind when weird shit continues to happen in Trigun Stampede. That weird shit is what Naito Sensei loves, and he just sprinkles it like the salt meme on top of his amazing plots and characters.
Nice.
Anyway, thank you for sticking around for my weird bullshit. I appreciate it.
Krystal, are there any projects you're working on or anything you want to plug real quick before you sign off?
Yeah. So episode 2 of my web series called What in the World is coming out. What's today's date? On the 23rd? On the 23rd. So the 30th. I'm very, very excited for everyone to see it. I kind of mentioned earlier, it's going to be based on Higurashi, that little scary anime. So if you want, watch the first 3 episodes of Higurashi, and then you can have some context about what's happening in the show. But yeah, that's all I have. Yeah. Just, it's not as crazy. It's not as crazy. I couldn't get as gory as I wanted to, but it has a little something in there. But yeah, thank you guys so much for having me on, especially to talk about one of my favorite anime in the entire world, my favorite character. I appreciate y'all so much.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming. Everybody go follow. Go follow.
Yeah. Tell the humans where they can follow you. Tell the humans where they can see all your stuff.
You can follow me at Krystal Shanellee, literally everywhere. I had to make sure I just made it all the same. It's so much easier for you guys. So yeah.
Brandon.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll see y'all later.
Yeah, have a good night.
Have a good
night. Bye.
All right, then
she's amazing.
Around. Yes,
it's so good.
Loved it. Love the energy, and I'm excited.
What a queen.
Yes. Thank you again for our special guest who go follow in the
Who's
thing,
no
which was
longer
there.
in the
Yes.
in-between here, but that's okay. The filling to this sandwich.
Yes. So for those of you still here, we're going to be talking about My Hero Academia. And then at the very end, we'll have other things to recommend to you as well. So My Hero, my goodness, this also continues that mood of, oh man, okay, like everybody needs a hug apparently, and like a breather and like R&R. Like, my goodness.
The question is, are the kids all right? And the answer is
No.
And it's not just limited to the kids. Speaking
Parent
of the
drama
kids,
and kid drama. Yay.
Can we talk about Hawks' backstory? Oh my god.
Yes.
Just
that poor child.
An unwanted child born to two very traumatized parents. And just the whole, I saw heroes on TV, but it wasn't real to me until one of the ones that I idolized caught my dad. It's like, oh, it's real. Oh my God. And
what do you think his mom meant when she's...
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, what do you think his mom meant? Like, where'd you get those wings? Because the dad, we saw a shot and he has them on his arm. I mean, they're not there, but it was weird. I'm like...
Yeah, and they did like way at the beginning. It was like, okay, well, your quirk would probably come from a combination of your parents' quirks or you know, something like that. So
it felt a little weird.
It's like we got dad kind of had the wing feathers going on, and then mom had the detachable body parts, and that made it wings with detachable feathers. So, because that's how genetics works. So. That's how genetics works. The kids aren't all right. Yeah. No, that's the one Offspring song I always have to skip because it always makes me sad. Anyway. Yeah, this man alive. In a flashback, we saw Endeavor hand Hawks' dad over to the police. Wow. Wow. I missed that. I guess it's one of those if you know, you know bits.
Yes, yes.
But yeah.
But it makes sense that he had his special training.
Something to be said for, hey, we want to put him in a special government program, and him going, can I become a hero that saves people? And it's like, oh, this child. Oh, he had no clue. This is messed up. This is messed up. This is kind of child soldier territory. This is messed up. This is messed up.
And how he wasn't even that sad about his mom just piecing out because he's like, no, when I left, I said bye to her and my life. Yeah. You know, and it's like, okay. Best Genius over here like, okay, buddy?
And the answer is no.
No.
No, nobody's all right.
I did like the talk to text talky thing for part of that. And then he's like, okay, this is taking too long. I'm just going to talk with my scruff recovering voice.
It's like, whatever, it's
cool.
Fine.
Yeah.
No, the talk to text, the text to talk rather was great.
Yes.
And the explanation of, so we gave you a surgery that made you look dead, but you weren't dead. And then we preserved your body. And then I got you out when the time was right. So I'm just like,
oh, okay.
Sure, I'll buy that. Had to pass the test for being a dead body, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Well, I think just because Genist is like something with the fabric, I guess, like part of his quirk that they could do that. Because
I'm just going to mark this up to weird science.
Yeah, you go, sure.
And the fact that
they provide an example and you go, all right, sure.
Because at that point, I believe Genist was also still recovering because he checks notes, lost a lung in a previous fight, and yet somehow he's still doing okay. So, like, the science in this world, it doesn't check out, so you need to check out, you know?
Yes.
You just kind of, all right, and the suspension of disbelief just ratchets up a notch. Science can do this now. Science can also do a necromancy to turn a corpse into a Nomu. Cool.
I mean, I guess with the existence
in case anyone was
doing
wondering
weird
whether
shit like that makes sense of like, yeah, okay, it tracks.
In case anyone was wondering who the real monster in Frankenstein was, it is the doctor. We've proven this. So yeah. It's there's just a lot in this show.
Yeah.
There's just a lot.
The Nomu tech, used for the side of good. Yeah,
I don't think you can.
Well, that's what they did with him, kind of.
Like the weird surgery to like put him
Yeah.
under the radar, but like actually making a Nomu
I don't
is
think they would
fucking
do that though.
necromancy.
No, yeah.
It's necromancy, and it requires the all for one ability to move quirks. So,
Mhm.
like, one, that's extremely hecked up. Stop it. And two, that's necromancy. Stop it. And three, stop it. So, like, maybe you could learn something good. Maybe you could get some advancement of scientific techniques, but also, like, yikes, 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 yikes. We could go on for a while in that same vein, but it's just yikes all the way down.
And well, not a yikes, but a aw, the reference to Twice and Hawks questioning the okay, yes, some of the
Yeah.
things he did weren't right, but his intentions in wanting to save everyone were good. I was like, aw, yeah.
It's like, no, you vibed with him pretty damn hard.
Yeah.
The friendship wasn't entirely a lie.
Yeah.
You really were hoping that he would cut and run with you at that point.
Mhm.
And it didn't turn out that way.
Yep.
Yep. Everyone's life is pain right now. Everyone's life is pain.
Especially Endeavor. I'm like, are we gonna get I'm like, this could go even darker real quick. That I'm like, I don't know how dark they're gonna get. But I'm all,
Hit me. Let's go.
Well, I was like, is this gonna be essentially a burnt out salaryman of what happens to a lot of them in Japan? That I'm like, Endeavor, are you okay? Are you okay? Right? Because we're seeing that brokenness so much that I'm like, but I don't think within this world of what the creator of the show, I mean, and the manga is made of, like, no, but I had that thought. But then I guess as
and if anyone who wants to try to like Google that, content warnings on that.
Yes,
like,
content warning on that. I'm like, don't look. Yeah,
it's not
if
good.
you know, you know. Don't look it up if you don't.
If you know, you know. If you want to know, then I'd just be very careful.
Yes.
Be very careful.
But I did appreciate his vulnerability of, not necessarily like, oh, family, don't look at me while I'm crying. But he did have the, I didn't realize it.
It's like, oh, wait, that's
yeah.
The door was open the whole time.
Dad?
I did appreciate the doctor going like, here's what you need to do to recover. Here's this. And I'm rooting for you.
Yeah.
Just that little bit of someone who's not involved outside of being a medical practitioner going, no, I'm in your corner. I got you.
Yeah. And
of course, it also probably helps if your medical practitioner is invested in helping you recover. But yeah.
We get Todoroki's mom.
Yes.
And talking like not in a shell of herself. So I'm very excited to see what the next episode is all about, of them all like, all right, we need to chat. Like, let's uncover.
Todoroki's mom, Mrs. Todoroki, is out here to just knock everyone's heads together until someone gets some sense in their skulls. And I am here for it. I am here for it.
Yep.
Just like, whip this family back into shape, ma'am. It shouldn't be your responsibility to fix it, but right now, you're the one who can. Got to bring this gaggle of idiots together.
Because we need levity. Charles says, Aizawa's doctor looked like Yoshi. Endeavor's doctor looked like Toad. What is going on with this hospital?
It's run by Dr. Mario, obviously.
Oh, yeah, apparently.
Hey! I'm proud of myself.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
Gonna clip that and put it on TikTok. I don't even have TikTok. Anyway, the bit that I really want to talk about, because there was a lot that went into this episode, and most of it,
a lot of exposition of information.
The first half was just whole ass Hawk's backstory, and kind of like, I don't feel the need to go into that quite as much, because it was a lot and it was good to know, but a lot of it was like emotional gut punch, and we kind of, we know it's yeah. I feel like going into that in depth, you're better off just watching the show. I'm not phrasing this well, but I think we've covered that part of it adequately.
Yes.
The bit that I want to talk about was Wash doing his best. First, Genist showing up and taking care of something and going, where are the heroes for this quadrant? Oh, they've all retired. They've left. They're done. shoot, let me send in some sidekicks. And it focusing on the guy who had like essentially the Mega Man blaster on his arm. And then going to like cutting to the person trying to rob the convenience store and them fighting back. And basically the community rising up with all of these support items basically and going, no,
With
we're
no
not
training.
doing this.
Yeah.
I used to take karate in high school, and I don't remember all of it. But one of the things that Sensei Brian said that stuck with me was, do not carry a weapon unless you're prepared to eat it. There is always going to be the option of someone getting it away from you, and that option is much higher if you don't know what you're doing with it, if you're not trained. So this is why I don't usually carry like mace or brass knuckles or anything, because it's like, do not carry a weapon if you're not prepared to eat it. That's basically what happened here, is a whole bunch of people with very powerful stuff with no training on how to use them going, well, I'm going to do this to try to save my
good
community.
intentions and all, but yeah.
It's the shooting through a wall and killing your neighbor bit.
Mm-hmm.
And that actually kind of is what happened here to a much bigger extent, because the whole block came down. And there
poor
were
Wash
no
just
heroes
shows
there.
up and they're like, where
were
he's
you?
Like,
What are you doing?
Here.
Yeah, just this.
I came as quick as I could. Yeah.
I get it. Medical right now for everyone. Just get everyone to medical. Figure it out later.
Yep.
But yeah, like, it's very much this. I hate to equate things to real world politics because it always gets really, really messy. But it's stand your ground laws gone really, really wrong.
Yeah.
And they've made the point of like, these devices should not be out in the public. They were gotten from the black market, and these people don't know what they're doing, but they feel like they have to defend themselves because a whole bunch of villains with quirks are out there just wrecking shop, and heroes are retiring. The balance has swung in a very, very dangerous direction. And we have 300 pro heroes in the hospital and a number dead. Yep. So it's not a good place to be right now. This is the point where I sit here and go, I'm so fucking frustrated with the fact that All for One is so fucking broken. But that's, this is the darkest before the dawn part of things. I know the manga's still going on, and I know there's still things occurring, but you got to have that really low point before things start pulling up again. And I'm hoping that that's what this is, because if we're going lower than this, I'm not sure we're coming back out.
Well, we also get so many of the other pro heroes, we saw glimpses that they're just like, oh, well, this is too much going on, so I'm just going to retire. And what? Shouldn't you try to be helping? And then it's just they can't, and then that's...
Yeah. The way they explained it is that it's people who should have retired a while ago.
Yeah.
Coasting on goodwill. And popularity they built up when they were younger and further capable of doing this. So it's it's one of those, you probably should have retired about a decade ago, but it was easy enough to coast and take care of shoplifters and small problems and make appearances and keep your agency running with your sidekicks. It's fine, kind of status quo it. And then when shit hit the fan, you weren't prepared and you were not physically capable of helping. So that's rough. And then seeing Stain go back home, pull out a sword, be like, I'm going to become it's the God has let me live another day and I'm about to make it everyone else's problem. That's what it is. I keep using that phrase, but I love that phrase, and it's a very good descriptor.
I mean, we've seen it earlier on, but I'm surprised we haven't seen it yet where we're not seeing more villains conflict with each other too. Because just because they're all villains doesn't mean they're all going to get along, and doesn't mean they wouldn't compete over territory or resources. So I'm curious if we're going to see some of that too. Because yes, they're all on the side of lawlessness. So I'm like, all right. But then they'd be like, no, I got here first. No, this is my stuff. And then maybe some will cancel each other out.
But this is we're still within the first
it's pretty
days of everything going
the other
straight
thing. What?
hell.
It's only a day or two? Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah. No, it's I can see that
Not
happening
long
as
enough,
things get a little more settled in, as gangs start forming and trying to take territory. Like, I can see that happening a little further on down the line. But the problem is when they clash, the collateral damage just. Heroes are trained to minimize collateral damage while attempting to take out villains. Villains don't care.
Nope.
It's not, I mean, it depends on your villain, it depends on your code of ethics, and it depends on your whatever, but generally speaking, if you have two gangs clashing over territory, who cares about the collateral damage? As long as you own the block. So, and again, Quirks just amplifies all of that.
Yep.
So I don't, like, yeah, maybe some of the smaller ones, maybe there will be issues where they take each other out, fine. I don't see that happening until the settling in starts. And I think we're still a long ways from that, especially since we are going to continue to see the League of Villains and whatnot just stirring things up. If they can keep things chaotic, they win. Yeah, No Man's Land.
Yes. All right. Well, it's definitely bleak, and I hope I agree with you that I hope this is the darkest before the dawn of, like, can we get a little shift of, like, come on now.
I'm also hoping that we get an episode or two more just to kind of work with the Todoroki family and work with society at large before we drag Deku back to consciousness. Like, let the kid sleep.
He needs a nap
for a little while, for just a little while.
Yes.
Let him just, like, I know it just worries Bakugo and All Might and everyone else, but also, like, please just let him be not connected to this world for a couple of days. Just let him go. Just let him go. 2 years ago, he didn't even have a quirk, and now everything is just like. So, just let him live. Let him breathe. Just. Does it count as resting if you are just whole ass unconscious?
Yes.
I don't know.
His body is repairing itself. It's doing its job.
His body's out here like, please stay down, please stay down, please stay down.
They're like, just stay asleep. Just stay asleep.
Just don't.
Not yet. Don't wake up yet.
Everyone's body's over here like, I got stabbed like 15 times. I'm going to need you to stop. Please just give me a minute. Please give me a few more minutes. Give me a couple days.
And Bakugo's just pushing through that. Who's like, I don't care. He better be okay.
Again, I still love, if he dies, I'll kill him.
Oh, yeah.
Just like that.
He's a sweetheart.
I love it. It's so good.
Yeah.
We've had such a good arc for Bakugo, and we've had such a good arc for Endeavor. God, season 1, season 2, I could never see, like, I have sympathy for Endeavor, and I'm really rooting for him. Like, early on in those seasons, it's like, what?
Yeah, or Bakugo, you're like, dude, that kid's annoying. Like, no, thank you. And now it's like, oh, he's a sweetheart.
But the thing is, and this is, again, we've mentioned this on the show before, but it's always worth mentioning when we get to talking about these specific character arcs and these specific characters' pasts. It's not, oh, it's fine, we've just forgotten what they've done. It's not, oh, we've just forgiven them, whatever, don't ever talk about it again. Both of these characters are doing the work to get better, are doing the work to be better people. And I really do appreciate the narrative, especially when it comes to Endeavor and Todoroki doing the whole, you are not required to forgive your abuser. You are not required to interact with them. You are not required to, like, you owe them nothing. If you choose to forgive them because it helps you, that's your decision, and that's you doing what's best for you. If what's best for you is just getting the hell out of the house and never talking to them ever again, that's also valid. And that we see that with Todoroki's older brother going, I can't pretend everything's fine. I can't pretend it's all okay. I don't want to be here. You're still the person who tore our family apart. And that's valid. Endeavor is doing the work to be a better person, but that does not erase what he did in the past. So it's difficult to approach stories like this because it's really tempting to put in they're a better person now, so you should forgive them.
It's like,
that's not the case. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
And I know I'm sure there's stuff in the manga, and I'm not talking about that because I don't know it. But just in these circumstances, the fact that the show is able to approach this story and show all of the different aspects of, yes, I can bring myself to forgive him. No, I don't think I ever will. And presenting them all as equally valid because they are. is not an easy thing to do and not something you often see in media. So I can stand here and say, yeah, I'm really rooting for Endeavor now, but also understand that that does not change the fact that he done fucked up a lot. A
Yes.
lot. And
no, but I'm glad
if
you point out he's doing the work. He's not just coasting by on it. He's trying to do something about it. And he cares to do something about it, not just because he thinks like this will get me something.
But it's also like, I have messed up. I have broken up this family. And then going, okay, well, I will get you guys a place to stay. You don't have to stay in this house. So you don't have to stay in this house. You don't have to stay with me. Like, we'll get you your own space. So it's, again, if you're sitting here going, I can never forgive Endeavor, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. That's 100% valid. Just, I appreciate the way that the narrative right now is constructed concerning Endeavor and concerning Bakugo. And again, how they are putting in the work and how the narrative is very clear that that does not excuse what happened in the past. So however you react to it, like, it is valid. You can choose to forgive them. You can choose not to. You can choose to support them. You can choose not to. But the fact that the narrative shows them actually putting in the work, actually being willing to learn and better themselves and be better to the people around them, and not requiring, oh, everyone needs to forgive them now as part of it, is just absolutely incredible. Like, My Hero Academia definitely has its issues. In my opinion, this is not one of them.
Agreed.
Yeah. I'm not going to stand here and pretend that I'm an expert on these situations or these narratives or anything. Like, I'm not going to pretend that I know everything, but I am going to point that out and say that I appreciate how it's going.
I think a lot of points are presented well within this storyline of My Hero Academia. There are, like you said, there are some things going, but that's okay. But overall, still good. And we'll see what happens next week for sure.
Yeah. Now the Todoroki family all kind of gathers together and goes, what are we going to do about that one?
Yes.
Our black sheep has done so much murder, you guys. Holy cow.
Anything else from My Hero before we get to our palate cleanser?
I agree. Just kind of, nope. A little.
Well, then, so some other things we've been watching, reading, all that kind of stuff to let you know about, because these shows are a lot.
You start.
Yes. So I started and I was like double checking. I'm like, what else did I watch this week? We are a little bit past the holidays and all, but I did watch the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday holiday special. It's cute. It's on Disney Plus. It's nothing like, oh my gosh, I loved it, it's amazing. But there's some things about it that if you're a Guardians of the Galaxy fan, it is very fun. It's entertaining. If you want something still a little festive, go for it. Very amusing. There's a lot of like silliness in it. So
yeah.
Also, I have so the other big one I watched that I have not watched the last bit of it, but I started Willow, the TV series. I am a fan of the movie. I like the show. I have seen people on both sides of like, I like it, with some valid reasons. I make that voice because I'm like, sometimes when people do that, they don't have good, like, because this was this, they're like, I just don't like it. I'm like, okay. Generally, it's better when you're like, well, this, or this. I go, oh, that's a good point. But overall, I think it's very fun. I read El Hoffer Design, actually, they posted a thing saying they likened it a little bit to 10th Kingdom. And I'm all, yes, I can see that comparison. I love the 10th Kingdom. So I'm like, all right. But yeah, it's one of those, it's a fun show. You do not need to have seen the original film. They have kind of so by the way, this is the world we live in at the beginning of it, just in case, because it's been a while since I watched the movie. So I'm like, thank you. What's the refresher?
In case you missed it. I see why am I.
And it's very, it's adventure, it's fantasy. So if that's something you're looking for, it is very fun. I'm looking over the chat here. We got Gigaderic says Legend of Vox Machina is back.
Yeah, it is.
Right? And then also, yes, y'all got to watch Last of Us HBO show. If you haven't yet, it's so good. Even if you're on a gamer and didn't play the games. I have watched the first episode. I haven't had a chance to watch the second, but I really enjoyed it. It is definitely on the horror side of things. So I didn't think it'd be quite Katie's jam.
Oh, I am versed in The Last of Us. I will not be watching the show.
Yeah,
I will
you're
not
like-
be able to handle it. That's not a knock on any
Yeah.
of that. That's me personally going, I need to be able to sleep
Yeah.
at night.
Yes. Like I said, first episode, really cool. I'm excited to watch more. It is hard to wait every week, but yes, I like it as well. So yes, Katie, what about you? What are you watching, reading, or playing, or whatever?
Pretty much all of the same stuff as last week, honestly.
Hey, that's good too. That's good too.
That is what happens when you slide in and go, okay, I'm going to watch something weekly. Although Mother's Basement did put out their ones to watch for the winter season video, and that's given me about 3 more that I need to put on my list. So, further bulletins as events warrant. Cannot recommend Campfire Cooking in Another World with My Weird Skill highly enough. It's so good. We got the second episode. It's fantastic. I just, for those of you who missed it the first time around, it's guy gets accidentally isekai'd, 27-year-old businessman gets accidentally isekai'd along with the 3 teenagers that they were aiming for. The 3 teenagers all get like holy magic and sword wielder and all this fun stuff, and his skill is online grocery. So, they all go, it's like, oh, well, the king summoned us and we're going to go fight the demon lord. And he basically does the equivalent of, can I leave? And they give him hush money to be like, don't tell anyone we summoned you. And he just, whoosh. So his talent is that he can basically open a browser window in midair that opens to a Japanese online grocery, and he can pay fantasy money, the currency of the world, to buy things from there. Typical light novel title. Oh my God, yes. He can pay currency to just buy things from there, and they immediately just pop into existence. So it starts with, all right, I'm going to buy a few things. I'm going to carry them. I'm going to do whatever. Let me get out of this country because I don't want to be here with this extremely sketchy royal family and their extremely sketchy practices. Like, nah, I want to be out of here. He just wants to lie low, and the world refuses to let him lie low. Whether it's because the food that he makes from his otherworldly groceries give people stat boosts and it's the best food they've ever had in their life, or whether because as the result of that, a legendary beast called Fenrir wants him to feed him and then is like, we're going to make a bond. I'm going to be your familiar. You're going to feed me and I'll protect you. And Fenrirs have been known to destroy countries, evidently. So, he's trying to lie low and he's got just this giant wolf hanging out with him. It's fine. It's very charming. It's very funny. It's very well written, very well acted. The animation's great. The character designs were so much fun. Like, there's a little too much of, I watch a lot of Overlord in me to not fear for people's safety, but I don't think this show's gonna do that. And hysterically picked up on this the second episode. I'm like 95% certain that the Seiyu that voices Ainz in Overlord also voices Fenrir. It's the same voice. You can really hear it when the wolf starts getting mad. So that's a lot of fun. But yes, highly, highly recommend this show. We have 2 episodes so far. It's a Tuesday update. And yes, it's isekai, but we are no longer in the time Isekai no longer has to be everyone's power fantasy, which means we can actually start getting to the good stuff. And this is the good stuff. Highly recommended.
Nice.
Yeah, we've burned our way through most of Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We have like 6 episodes in the movie left. Why did this show get canceled? Why did this show get canceled? It has prettier Sakuga than a lot of anime that I've ever seen. My God, it's amazing. Highly recommended. Even if you're not a Turtles fan, this show is just a lot of fun. The voice acting is stellar. I think I made the joke about, I wasn't expecting John Cena to be in this, let alone have a complicated musical number that he nails. But it's pretty amazing. So highly recommend that show. And if you joined in on my Twitch stream yesterday, I've started replaying Hades and learning the PC controls, which are rough. Controller is not good for my hands, but the PC controls are not good for my success. So it's going to be Hades streams from here on in. And if you have not played Hades, it is a game by Supergiant, who have also given us incredible games like Transistor. It's based on Greek myth. It is a roguelite, which means it's a roguelike in that if you die, you have to start over. But the light part means that you get to save some of your progression. You get a little stronger every time you die. Things get a little easier. And dying is part of the story. It's not, oh, I died, I have to do everything all over again. It's, oh, I died. And now I'm back at the House of Hades. And now I'm talking with these characters and I'm learning from things and I'm unlocking stuff. And then we do another run. Like, Hades is incredibly well put together. The writing, the acting, the design, the music, the controls if you're on the controller. I am having trouble with adjusting to PC controls, but that's me. Just the story in this game is phenomenal. And if you're like, okay, but like, is there any shipping in it? I like romance, but I'm really bored of het people. This game is so gay, you guys. It's gay, it's bi, it's all over the place. It's absolutely wonderful. There are multiple options. It's just, it's very good. It's so good. And it has a sequel coming out at some point. They announced it not long ago. So, highly recommended. Definitely check out Hades. If you're not a video games person, check out someone playing it. Check out the playthroughs. They're fun, you guys. It's a fantastic game. This game is a work of art. It's so good. And the soundtrack is on Spotify, and it's amazing.
Nice. I was looking over at the
80's good.
chat. We got Rab says Mobile Suit Gundam, the Witch from Mercury, Count of Monte Cristo meets the Tempest Times Revolutionary Girl Utena. And I'm like, intriguing.
Someone recommends that every week we do this show.
So I'm like, all right. Hey, maybe later. We'll see.
And it's
but
always
yes.
a different person.
Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us this week on Nighttime in the Nerd Bar. Woo! Thank you. Okay, I was looking over. I was like, anything else? Oh, real quick, though. Gigator says, bought Hades art last year for a friend. Looks good. Yes.
It is stunning.
Yeah.
It is amazing. It is so very good. And again, I if you want to see what the beginning looks like, I've started playing it again, and it's on the VOD is on my YouTube. You have to put up with my terrible skills, but it's
so
there.
Where do people find you at other stuff?
Yeah, you can follow me all over the social medias as well as on said YouTube channel and said Twitch channel at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. Like I said, VOD for the Twitch streams lives on YouTube because it lasts a little longer there. Going to try streaming Twitch a little more frequently, shorter streams, more casual stuff. Join me, have fun. I am also a co-host on Silver Screams. That is also on YouTube. That is a horror-based channel. And we recently did, I don't know if we can call it a deep dive. We call them the horror Q&A, where my roommate goes to see a horror movie and then comes back and she gets whiskey and I get popcorn and I interview her about the movie. And the interview is over when one of us runs out of either whiskey or popcorn. And we just did that on Megan. So if you saw Megan and you want to see a couple people lose their entire minds about it, or if you haven't seen Megan and don't care about spoilers and want to see a couple people lose their entire minds about it, that is on the Silver Screams channel on YouTube. So check all that out.
Nice.
Yeah.
And y'all can find me online at Carrie D Lane. That's KARIDLANE. All platforms. I was like, nothing specific yet, but in the works of getting some interviews for y'all. So make sure to follow this channel, follow us, give the video some thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And then also follow us on our Twitter for this show as well. So that's NTATNB.
Yes.
I'm like, da.
Yeah.
Because that one is where we post a lot of the pictures about some of the products or movies and things we've talked about on the show. So go check that out. Well, Thank you everybody who joined us in the live chat. And if you're watching later, no worries at all. Comment down below your thoughts on all the stuff we talked about. And we'll be seeing you next week.
Yeah.
Take care and we'll see you. Bye.